episode
22. Ooh, shit, I missed
24.
Dylan, can you work out what an entree is if it's eaten after a main and it's not dessert, please?
A second?
Secondi? What is an entree if eaten after the main but before the dessert and it's not a dessert? I think I broke your fucking thing, eh? Whoop, there goes the swear words.
I can still hear music. Is that right? Okay, I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to get yelled at. Episode 24. That's actually crazy that we haven't been shut down yet. We nearly did yesterday, but we can talk about that later. But welcome. It's Friday, the week that was, another week that was. Feels like they're just flying by.
Fridays suck.
You did say that this morning. First thing, Friday sucks. Like the third worst day of the week is what you said.
Well, the problem is Fridays as far away from Monday as possible. Tuesdays as far away from Monday as possible.
Yeah. But I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think I need 2 screens for this. Fuck it.
See what the world. See what takes us.
We'll see. I'm gonna open up some artificial intelligence software.
Yes. Because we need a script. So.
Well, yeah, but we haven't planned this podcast, which won't surprise any of you.
It's been a busy week, and I know we say that every week, but it's actually been really busy this week and last
snuck
week.
up on me this week.
It really did.
Have you got a guest for next week yet?
Not yet. Still working on it.
Do that on Thursday, right?
Yeah, I'll work it out Thursday afternoon about 4 o'clock. So.
All right. Chat GPT. You should get Party Hole Senior.
Yeah, Mum, not a fan
Of your dad?
Well, that'd be awkward, wouldn't it?
Mate, back in the olden days, plenty of people stayed in relationships with people they didn't love. Are my headphones on?
Can you hear yourself?
No.
No, I reckon because I've got it set up for your personal headphones.
All right, so I have to go find them somewhere? All right, guys. So today
we got a working Black Magic board, so we're back to our normal program.
I also think that we are almost at the middle of winter.
Yes, 2 days
I'll
away.
ask- Whoa, here I go.
3 days.
I'm here. Hi, guys. The dulcet tones of Clint Adams. I'm not happy with this microphone. We probably should do a bit better preparation. This is all the stuff that we should do.
Imagine if we had a studio.
Ooh.
Oh, that gets Dylan excited on a Friday. Clip it if you wish, Dylan. Just make it controversial as fuck so we can get all the comments. All right? Thank you. Love that from you guys. Thank you.
So, good afternoon. Before we get into the podcast, I just need to cover off a concern that came through from my secret undercover greenkeeper support man. He sent me a message yesterday saying, do you realise that Santa Ana is a hybrid cooch? Let's see if I can find the message. Yes, he said, you do know Santa Ana is a hybrid cooch, yeah? And I said, I know nothing. I got a lollipop stuck to my foot.
Is that what it was?
I think Lucy ate a lollipop in here before. So we had a clip go live yesterday. I think yesterday. I don't know. I don't watch our content.
Yesterday.
And it said something about, you have to watch the whole thing and it makes sense. But at the start, the clickbait that our team put together said something about Santa Ana being better than hybrid cooches. I didn't know it was a hybrid cooch. It's not something that I've spent any time on. And so I apologize to anyone who I upset and offended. I apologize to the inventors or the breeders of Santa Ana. I was actually trying to give Santa Ana their flowers.
Yeah.
And I will try not to say anything that's incorrect, but I can't guarantee it won't happen again because I am human and I do make mistakes. But
if you continue to watch the reel, we would have identified.
You kind of corrected me. But I can see where it could have been perceived differently by multiple people. You think you're going to turn the lights on now, just like make the podcast. What the fuck do you do?
Well, last week we had the sunlight coming in. Towards the back end of the podcast, it was very it was reflecting off my dome.
Can you turn the stream deck up? Thank you. So, another podcast with no planning. If anyone is interested to be involved from a customer. Okay, a couple of things. One, we are looking for guests, and the interaction that we had around our clip yesterday highlighted that, reminded me of my desire to start to bring on some turf industry legends to come and answer questions and talk about what they do. It's something that I've had in the back of my mind, and obviously we haven't been able to find a mutually convenient time with Max to come on board, but there's other guys. I mean, Hoffy's only just got back from overseas,
Yes.
but he's keen to do a pod. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's a merch wall. Bearded Sith noticed that. That's called Laziness. I didn't want to walk to the other side of the room to grab my Brody Kostecki signed steering wheel from when he came sixth at the Gold Coast 500?
I think it is
300?
No, Gold Coast 500 is right. I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So yeah, today it's a hoodie available at lawnhub.com.au.
Yep. Still
And,
got a few in stock.
use the code LawnPorn to save 10%.
Yep.
There's a bit of delay in my laughing track. So if you've got questions, send them through. If you are a turf care specialist, you work in the industry, or you think you could bring value to this podcast and you would like to be a guest, please email adam@lawnhub.com.au with a bit of information about you. And we I guess if you're in Adelaide, we'll be able to work it out. If not, we'll have to travel. On the podcast scene, a podcast I was a guest on went live today.
Yeah, about 3-4 hours ago.
The Australian Lawn and Garden podcast.
There he goes.
Okay, sorry. I keep calling
Got
it the Lawn and Landscape podcast or something, but sorry, Luke. So yeah, Luke was here for a podcast with Adelaide Oval team and others. Ben Sims was here. And while he was here, I was available to do a pod on the Sunday, so that's just gone live today. It's not very lawny, it's probably very businessy, but if you're interested in that content, head over and you can listen to that. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I don't think it's up on YouTube yet.
I didn't find it on YouTube yet.
So-
It's definitely on Apple Podcasts.
Maybe he's got a team like ours who just start the job and then halfway through the job, finish the job.
But
That's
it
how all
gives,
jobs work,
it
right?
gives you a little insight into how Clint's brain works. So,
Or doesn't.
a little insight. It doesn't give too much away, but
So today, is there anything you want to talk about?
so during last week's podcast, you may or may not remember or have seen, I was passing around this notebook and it had a certain letter on it. It was something I'd written. And I just want to address that quickly. So those of you not aware, I have a golf day in my front yard where we raise money for mental health. Last 2 years we've done that. This year, Clint's like, fuck it, we're going to the moon. So Lawnhub's going to get involved. Probably when we're talking about it early doors, we're going to put a pack together and certain proceeds of that was going to go towards the charity and blah, blah, blah. We pitched that to who I had been donating to, which was the Black Dog. Unfortunately, they have decided not to work with us. And I've written it down so I can't get in trouble because this is what they said. They said they're concerned about public feedback in regard to your brand name. So, yeah. But they were happy to still take the money that was raised. We could only say it will be donated to a leading mental health research organisation. Obviously, that doesn't align with our values and you know, it's a two-way street. So I've started making inquiries with other mental health charities in that area. So, yeah, I think just got a few more things to nut out with one company in particular, and I think they'll align with our values a lot more. But yeah, just want to get that out there. So yeah, we will still be doing something, absolutely, but where that money will go is yet to be determined. So, and to be honest, it'd be a bit shitty if we would say, oh yeah, it's all going to be donated to a mental health organisation, but we couldn't say. Like,
It's the concern I would have is that if I was a cynical punter, which I am, I'd be like, yeah, no worries, boys.
Yeah.
Where you guys going to Fiji for fucking 7 days?
And that's not obviously in line with our values and everything, and it's definitely not in line with what we're about. So we're always transparent. This business is one of the most transparent businesses out there, especially in this industry. So But yeah, just wanted to. Obviously, I was quite disappointed, but life goes on, and yeah, we're on to big and better things. And I think, yeah, if we can tie up these loose ends with this company that I'm talking to, I think it'll be exciting for a lot of people. So,
thank you, Adam. Good fucking afternoon, gents. From Christian Ritchie on Facebook. VJ on YouTube. Audio is fantastic today. Yep, that's right. Dylan bothered to sort that out. Dylan actually also did work he wasn't asked to do this week, which was fix the fan in the soundboard. So he is not going straight to HR. Where's my fucking straight to HR? Well, I can't find it.
Yes, and those of you that would have been listening to the podcast since the beginning would have remembered that in the first podcast, all you could hear was that, and it was a lot of comments were about that. So. Yeah, Dylan's fixed that finally. It's only taken 24 podcasts. We love you, Dylan.
We did have. I think I sent Kira to HR this week for liking a competitor's ad.
Yeah, you know, like I instantly recognised the ad, but
did it look like one of ours just done in Canva?
The first thing that I saw was
Kira,
and
then she sent one through this morning because you followed one of the. I mean. His is explainable.
Which one was that? I didn't. Oh, I'm not in that group. Yeah, I'm not in that chat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We should probably include you in the media chat.
Because the amount of times these people are like, oh, did you see that? And I'm like, nope. Did not see it.
We all laughed at you, not with you.
That's all right.
Bearded Sith, FYI, much better not seeing under the table.
Oh, yeah. So, you could see.
I'm wearing 2 pairs of pants, so.
You could see straight under where
I'm not wearing any shoes. Adam on YouTube, speak for yourself, Sith. So I think Adam wants to see your third camel or whatever they called it. Bearded Sith again. How long after hang on, there's one before that. You using a magnifying glass, Adam?
I wish sometimes.
No, the other Adam. These guys, get a room.
That's on my other page. So if you just hit me up afterwards, I'll share that link. Yes.
Filmed at Studio.
Yeah, Dylan's actually doing the filming for it now. It's actually the quality and the response has been really good from the viewers.
It's been nice that we can finally start to film this content in Australia now that they've loosened up the laws around that. We don't have to go to Bali.
If you think you can get into the market now, it's too late. We're already dominating it. So,
Bearded Sith, how long after new lawn can I use NSFW?
At least 12 weeks, but given the time of year, it's a bit colder. Obviously, the lawn's not going to establish as quickly. I would literally just hold out until you've done 2 or 3 mows and not just like mows to just say, oh yeah, I mowed the lawn on Saturday. We're talking mows that are taking lawn.
It's almost 12 establishment weeks.
Yeah, correct. Right,
so 12 full sun weeks, 12 weeks of 23, 24 degree day temperatures. Yep, plus.
The dirtier, the better.
The dirtier, the better.
Is there a way to pronounce Josie Ree without sounding a tad racist? I don't know how that sounds racist. Are you trying to trap me into saying like...
Yeah,
hi?
I don't know.
Hang on. Is that you making... Can you fucking stop doing that?
Sorry. ADD. It's been a real ADD day in the office, hasn't it, guys? Yeah, Dylan lost it since the...
He saw a Sleepy Joe video this morning.
I've never seen you laugh like that. Got you right in the feels.
Josie has just said, Sith, my name is Josie Marie, but my brother called me Josie Ree because he couldn't pronounce Marie.
There you go.
There you go. Boy.max on TikTok. Cock hub.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Boy Max.
You've probably got a 30-day ban now for saying that.
On TikTok?
Yeah.
No, whatever.
No, not me. He wrote it. No, sorry.
Kira just said many people are saying that's disappointing regarding Black Dog. It is, and
yeah, like obviously don't go and throw hate on them or anything like that. It's not what it was. Just
a challenging thing because Jonesy wanted to talk about it, and I was a bit on the fence because, it's like picking on people with a disability, and like Shane Gillis doing Down syndrome jokes. Like it's like you shouldn't go there. So like highlighting negatives around charities in our perceived negatives. Obviously, it might not in their board and whatever might consider it a positive not to work with someone like us. And in our experience, because we've had it happen with Cricket Australia refused to deal with us because of the logo. There's long-term ramifications of that, and I think the corporate world needs to chill the fuck out and like rein it back a little bit. But as Jonesy touched on before, we are very transparent, and I think that's one of the reasons why we have such a strong business and a strong following and good support and great retention and all of those things, because we're quite honest about things. And if we make a mistake, we'll come out and say we made a mistake. If an order gets damaged, we replace it. If something's wrong, we fix it. And so for us to say, we've maybe could have softballed it and said, we've decided to work with this other charity, but it's just not how we work. So it is disappointing, but like Jonesy said, don't go throwing shade.
Yeah, that's obvious. They still obviously do great things. So
they've done great things with you, right?
That's right. So
it's just, I know what this business is like, and I know how we are, and it could turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars in the coming years that are going to help. But we'll still focus on that. We'll focus on that more than focus on that. But yeah, I do want to acknowledge that a lot of people have been saying that. Adam Golding on IG, can I use NSFW on my grass if my dog eats the grass occasionally?
See, that's where the grey area is. So occasionally, so there's obviously a grazing withholding period, and grazing refers to areas in which livestock eat. So cattle, sheep,
How good is steak?
Yes. You'll probably find that it would be very difficult to then go, okay, so herbicide X doesn't have a grazing withholding period because of said reasons. It is a grey area, and to be honest, if you ever concerned about it,
don't use it.
Don't use it. Yeah, the dog's life's probably more important than a few weeds.
Depends on your views on dogs.
Correct. But in saying that, I've got a dog. She eats the grass every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, it is a grey area. But like I said, if in doubt, what did you say this morning? If in doubt, throw it out. If in doubt.
We were talking about milk.
Yeah, milk.
If in doubt, whip it out is also another one you can use. And if in doubt, pull out is also acceptable in some situations.
But yeah, if you are concerned about that, then yeah, I'll just focus more on a green lawn than a weed-free green lawn. Because sometimes, weeds aren't always bad, especially if they're covering an area that's bare.
Well, if you go onto certain forums and pages and you get some educated people in there, a weed is simply a plant that is not wanted in the area. So in some worlds, there is no weeds, man.
No, there's not. We actually had a WaterPro customer buy clover seed not long ago. They wanted to do a clover lawn. It was pretty cool. I asked for photos and they said, yeah, we'll send them in. They never did, but...
It's probably fucking Russia's spam filter. I've had heaps of that where I ring them up and call them all the names under the sun and they're just like, no, I sent it. And then I go, hey, Russia, what's the go with this? And he's like, oh, yeah, that was in your filter. It was identified as a phishing scam.
Yeah.
Oh, I should not have eaten that donut.
Honestly, I wasn't going to say nothing, but you were cutting it up and I was like, oh, everyone's going to get a piece of donut. And I turned around and it was gone.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally
hang on a sec. Does this remind you of a potential, this is like deja vu, except the donut was a frog cake and you were a piece of shit?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I ate it all. Yep.
And they were bought for sharing.
Yep.
I bought that fucking donut for myself.
Adam Jones apologised for absolutely demolishing the frog cake.
Yeah.
No, I did.
Mistakes.
Yeah, I fucking smashed it too and it was good.
Oh, God. Ethan Allen on Facebook. Cheers, Jonesy, for the help with the fur. Really appreciate it. Sand flattening starting soon.
Beautiful.
It's good now that we've got that new chat function on the website. People think it's me giving them all this high-quality advice. Yeah. I'm going to get some fucking good reviews.
Yeah.
Bearded Sith. Has Clint or Adam got siblings and does their lawns look better?
I've got a sister and she's married, so I don't know if it's her lawn or if it's his lawn.
You misogynistic.
No, well, Dylan is his name. He looks after it.
Dylan can be a girl's name.
It can be, but in this situation, it's not. He's got the OG goat out the front. He's got Santa Ana out the front.
The original hybrid.
Yeah, the original hybrid goat.
It probably wasn't. There's probably hybrids before that, and I acknowledge that the grass there's multiple different hybrids.
But in our climate, in our opinion, Santa Ana is the goat. Greatest of all time for those.
I don't know, man. I don't think any lawn's good.
That's fine. And then Kikuyu out the back because of their dog, and it looks good. They've done well.
It's almost like a mullet, like Santa Ana out the front, and Kikuyu out the back. It's all business out the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got their irrigation here from Water Pro, which, and their fertilizer from Lawnhub. So.
The donut, Adam on YouTube said, I'll answer your question in a sec. The donut better have been Villy's chocolate donut. I don't know. Josie will be able to say where it came from. We get this Crystal's meth van comes around, and that's not what it's called?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. I believe it's a Balfour's repackaged.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's better than that.
Because Villy's is a different chocolate on top.
No, these donuts are made from a proper bakery.
What are you saying, Villy's and Balfour's aren't?
No. They're, what would you call them? Here we go. Send your comments to adam@lawnhub.com.au if you're angry about what I'm about to say. No, when you get to a certain production level, you can't maintain, I don't think, that boutique nature for various reasons, reducing costs, blah, blah, blah. We won't.
Time.
Some do. Time, shelf life, profit. So, yeah, I just don't think they are, but I might be wrong. But the pies in there are different. And I'm guessing that they're buying the pies from where they're getting the donuts from. Josie might know.
And the vanilla slices. They've seen them. They're like this big.
If it's not a continental vanilla slice, it's not a vanilla slice. And you can fucking say what you want, but you know the difference?
Yeah, well, what would you say the ones that like
a Balfour's with fucking desiccated coconut on top of
so what would you consider that vanilla slice? Like an Aussie,
mass-produced
Aussie slice?
It's still a vanilla slice.
Like an
it's
Aussie
just
version?
not a continental vanilla slice. I just think that in a world where you could have a continental vanilla slice, which you would probably have sex with, why the fuck would you have a normal vanilla slice? It's just
availability. What's there at the time?
Yeah, that's the only answer. Maybe budgetary concerns.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe the fact that you shouldn't be putting your dick inside fucking desserts.
That really went south, didn't it?
Shout out to the writers of American Pie. Sorry, I've had a donut and my blood sugar's out.
He's having head spins before.
Literally, it's felt like I'd had a cigarette. It's just like, woo, where's all the blood gone?
Oh, gosh.
It basically bounces between my head and my stomach. It doesn't go anywhere else anymore.
Yep.
School holidays, no kids in the car. Or maybe they're all going to fucking bounce or something. Sorry, kids. So to answer your question, yes, I do have siblings. No, their lawn. Maybe I think my sister's front lawn might be better than my lawn. Because they don't do anything. They've got Kikuyu and they water it and probably fertilize it occasionally if they steal some fertilizer from my parents' house. And so they haven't had the challenge of, over application of chemicals like I've had in the past.
Yes. Which have had probably residual effects in the soil.
I think I changed the DNA of I've got a double hybrid now. It's like an Avenger or a Spider-Man it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Doubled. What's wrong with the hub? Ha, 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 ha. What's Venjum? Is he answering something or he's just in a mood? All right. Nate Extreme on YouTube. Hello. I think Nate Extreme is the one that usually misses out on the pod and comments. I missed it again. Narissa Busatil on
that's
Facebook.
my sister.
The OG hybrid.
Yeah.
That's your sister.
That's my sister.
So she knows what the fuck's up.
Yeah, she knows Santa Ana's the OG.
Yep. I don't know, but it's better than Balfour's. Josie Ray.
I'll
Send a strongly worded email.
see where it's from.
I'm sure no more questions.
There was no sticker on
Podcast
it?
finished. No, it's just in a plastic container.
No.
All right. So there's no question. So what I thought we could do today is use ChatGPT and ask it to pretend you are a professional podcaster. Act as, oh God, there's an audio version of this. I can't write fast enough. Do you have any questions from last week you didn't get to ask me?
That's still in my book. Well, it's been a busy week.
Yep, you said that a few times, mate. We all get it. You work.
Oh, no, we ended up getting through them all. We did. Oh. Phone's on the fritz.
Apple, mate. Probably voluntary redundancy. Are you due for a new one? If it's been 8 months, it might be time to start slowing that bad boy down.
You know what? I've been thinking about that. This battery is still held on. It's 12 Pro. So how old's that? What one's your filming one? Like 17, 16?
My Apple camera. It's right there.
Yeah.
15.
15. And what number are they up to now?
15.
Oh, so it's not that old.
Well, it depends.
It's a good size, like. About, they're the same size. Well, what the hell?
Nate Extreme. Sometimes the pod clashes with work times. Lucky for me, I work for myself and do what I want. Adam on YouTube, Nate is an OF model. Oh, yeah. Lucky I got socks on. So, as a professional lawn care podcaster, can you tell us about your background and how you got started in the lawn care industry?
I sure can. So when I was about 10 years old, Dad bought our first cylinder mower. We had beautiful Santa Ana out the back at Dad's place. It's now a combination of Kikuyu, Santa Ana, and there's the Tahoma putting green, which doesn't like the South Australian winter at all. Bit disappointing, but it is what it is.
It almost looked white.
It is white.
I don't have it anymore, but I didn't give mine a very fair. I planted mine in a nuclear wasteland.
Yeah. And then, so we got that going. We mowed a cricket pitch in because played a lot of cricket when I was younger. And then, I just used to, I can't remember the brand of mower it was.
Rover.
Nah, it was
Grey Nichols.
No, it's a cricket bat.
Shut up, Dylan.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It actually sprung a fuel leak and it started dropping petrol on the lawn. So that's when I learned that petrol can't drop on the lawn. So what I ended up doing is you could tape the clutch up so it would move freely. So I started mowing the lawn with our red rotary mower, and then I'd go over with the cylinder and do stripes in the lawn. And that's how I first learned how to do stripes.
When you were how old?
About 11.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then from that point onwards, I'd always obviously play cricket and footy. So I'd always like being outside, like being on the lawn stuff. And then in year 10, we obviously, I think it's year 10 still, you get the opportunity to do work experience. We do here in South
10
Australia.
and 11, yep.
And I decided to do mine at where I now play golf, the Sandy Creek Golf Course. And back in those days, it was a lot different than what it is today. Unfortunately, it had a bit of a hardship for a while. It's coming out the other side now. But before that, there was two full-time greenkeepers and an apprentice. So I went and did my work experience there, and that was actually really cool. Learned some, the difference between a rough mower, because I didn't know that there was such thing as a rough mower, fairway mower, greens mower, different heights, rolling the greens, all that sort of stuff. It was actually really cool. Drainage, that's where I learned a bit about drainage. And we did a little bit of irrigation work. We were fixing a main line that had split. It was really cool to see all that. And I said, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And went back to school.
And then went to work at a supermarket.
Yeah. And then unfortunately in South Australia, TAFE, I'm assuming the government of Australia cut the funding for
South Australia. Oh, federal funding, yeah.
Yeah, they cut the funding for, it was like 30% of courses. And I don't know where they were able to choose which ones did and didn't. It must have been an enrollment thing.
Skills shortage connection sometimes. So they'll have could have asked the skills commissioner.
Yeah,
he was here this morning.
Yeah.
Usually it all makes sense. It's easy to be critical of it if you're the one person that got hurt by the one action. But a lot of it will be like there's no shortage of that, and so the industry has to provide evidence that there's a skills shortage, and then it kind of
so unfortunately the funding got cut for it. So essentially what that meant was, as a 16-year-old kid who was training cricket 4 nights a week, playing Saturday, Sunday, I'd have to fund my way through this course.
Yeah, and
unfortunately
you weren't that good at cricket.
Well, you're not earning money at
not
16.
IPL good.
Yeah. And
are there any 16-year-olds playing IPL?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. Not these days. They're all freaks.
Yep.
And especially with the growth of social media, like one video could be your career, you know.
Or the end of mine.
Yes. So yeah, unfortunately, I had to stop, and I actually went off lawns for a bit. As you do in life, you know, you go through.
I've been off lawn for 3 years.
So you go through waves of being interested in things and not. Then I snapped my collarbone playing footy. Couldn't hold a cricket bat, so I stopped playing sport altogether. And then pretty much had that chat with mum and dad. They're like, "You need a job," which is fair enough. So I started pushing trolleys.
Common sense from Party Hall Senior. This doesn't sound... Well, obviously, your mum was the common sense part of this.
Yeah. So I started pushing trolleys at my local supermarket, and then I stayed there for 10 years.
How long did you push trolleys for?
I did it in the summer school holidays of 2011.
Did you enjoy it?
It was fun.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be fun. Like when you're younger and you're just kind of just like goofing around.
Well, so I was in year 11, and I was probably on $12 an hour, $13
more
an
than
hour.
I was getting at Domino's.
You know, and then on Sundays it was time and a half, so I'd push trolleys all day on Sunday.
Yep.
And you got to know the customers. That's something I really enjoyed about that job, is you'd see people regularly, especially in Gawler. There's an older community there, so I got to know a lot of people, and then went from, because couldn't push trolleys during the week anymore because I was back at school. So I went to Nightfield, and then just stayed there for 10 years, went from what I was to assistant store manager, then started at Lawnhub. About 2 years before I started at Lawnhub, about 2 or 3 years, built my own house. I didn't build it, but we paid for it to be built. And it really sparked my interest to back up again in lawn care. I had I mean, it's still there. It's just you can't really see it, the putting green in my front yard. So I got a fair bit of social media stuff on that. Max used to comment on it when he was working for Lawnhub, and we'd go back and forth and chat. And at that point, I didn't really realise who Max was, and where Lawnhub was actually 30 minutes from my house either. And then
Ready number 2 for the pod.
Ready number 2. And then so got the Rover. Had my own lawn care business, which I'd do after work, working in the supermarket. I had a few just maintenance lawns that just homeowners that didn't have time or saw my social media. So I was working full time in the supermarket, which was about 50 to 60 hours a week. And then, I don't know, about 10 or 15 over the weekends or after work, cutting lawns and helping people achieve their lawn goals. And then I got really sick because I was really, really busy. And then, Clint did a Facebook post on the Lawnhub page saying he's looking for a picker packer for 30 hours a week, which
wasn't going to pay your mortgage.
Which wasn't going to pay my mortgage. But at that point in my working career where I was, I wasn't interested in the money that I was on. I was more looking for somewhere that I could just go to work and not get threatened with what I was being threatened with. And I think I was off probation in 3 days.
Yeah, did I take you off probation that quickly? That's funny.
3 days.
I don't do that. I might have done that for Kira. I definitely didn't do it for Dylan.
And then, we've been able to team up.
He's being all emotional. Don't fuck it up with audios.
And then, we teamed up and we've obviously built Lawnhubbers to what it is. The change, like when I first came in, it was very different. Even when Josie started,
mate, you should have seen before the shit
what
Max had to deal with, and then before that, the shit that's like Steve and we had Water Pro staff ran Lawnhub for the first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and it's very different, and it's going to be very different moving into this.
It's kind of sad.
Season.
Like the startup phase of the business is really cool. There are a few questions, obviously, on TikTok, Facebook, etc. We will answer them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to finish answering question number 1 from our friends at Artificial Intelligence.
Sorry, that went a bit longer, but nah.
That's right. The next stage, it becomes corporate, and it's the risk you take. It's the Balfour's Villies situation, the Coca-Cola situation, the hardware shops. Like the local hardware shop doesn't exist anymore, right? Not really.
Yeah, well, so there used to be one in Gawler. There's not anymore. You go out to Newry. I'm not
Probably
sure
got stolen.
He's always on that.
I left it alone before, but fuck it.
But unfortunately, it's just the way things go, isn't it?
Free market, capitalist pigs. All right. Have you finished answering your question?
Yeah, I think so.
So there was one here from Simon on TikTok. I thought I'd try to answer this first because I know TikTok can be quite a... See ya.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, I asked you about my workshop lawn. You said wait till spring. Why is that?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I believe I'm talking to him through Podium.
Yep.
We're having a little bit of intermittent troubles with that at the moment.
Is it still being shit?
Yeah, it's still being very shit.
Clip this. Fucking send
But
it to
it's-
fucking Podium.
It works. I was able to punch out a whole bunch of questions and then it stopped working. And then, anyway,
I'll send a strongly worded text now.
the reason why I am suggesting wait till spring, looking at the images that you sent through, is the amount of work you're going to put in now will be null and void once the weather warms up. You're better using the warmer weather with the warmer soil temps and product rather than trying to replicate something that's probably not going to work as well, if at all. So, yeah, just hold out until spring. Warmer soil temps, warmer ambient temps, products that you need, like water, consistent mowing. Well, I do believe it won't take much for your lawn to come back at all. But, yeah, unfortunately, it's just the time of year, which is a bit sucky. And I've cleared my cache. If there's any IT people in there, I've cleared my cache. I've restarted my browser. I've done everything. But my emails are back. They should be good.
All right. I need to ask you another question before I send my strongly worded message.
But it is a good platform. It's very easy to use. And it allows us to be in contact with our customers a lot easier because it's all in one platform rather than having 3 or 4 platforms on the go.
With the days getting longer, I feel like I'm about to sing a song. With the days getting longer, when is the earliest you could start a Buffalo Reno in Sydney, New South fucking Wales? Fix it fingers. Good on you, mate. Thank you. See, people using the right terminology. Sunlight hours or temp dependent?
Temp dependent. So if that means we need to wait till November, December, we're waiting till November, December. All renovations should be based off of temperatures, not so much time of year. Because soil temps and soil temps are more important than anything, to be honest.
It's not about sunlight hours unless it drops below 6 or 4.
Yeah.
Then you're living really close to Antarctica or the ice shelf that surrounds the flat Earth, depending on what camp you're in. All right.
We're very diverse here, aren't we? We really allow for all people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, you're here.
That's right.
Ben Morris on Facebook. Can you use Spartan on your garden beds? Interested if it will work on the mulch.
Yes. So Spartan and Barricade are both garden registered. So if you open the label, depending on when you purchase Spartan, but Barricade was first, but depending on when you purchase Spartan, if you open the label, you'll have the turf and lawns, and then the next page will be garden, and it tells you how to apply it, how to water it in, when to apply it, and the weeds that it will control. Control meaning preventing from coming up, not kill.
Josie, if you are watching, can you please ask someone to make me a double shot piccolo? Someone good. Use
Where's
the
Reedy?
left-hand group head. Yeah, where's Reedy? He'd be watching. Reedy, come here and make me a coffee. Please? I'll give you a beer. Left-hand group head. But otherwise, I'll just leave the podcast and do it. Nate Extreme on YouTube. I hear night fuel pays pretty well.
Yes, it did. It actually did. And like supermarket jobs are actually well-paid jobs. Supermarket jobs are not what they were probably 30, 40 years ago either.
I had a bad experience 25 years ago.
It's a lot different now. They do pay well.
They're a great funnel of high-quality stuff for our
Correct.
business. We just hired another. He might not even know yet, but if you watch the podcast, you'll work it out. But we just interviewed another guy who was working at a supermarket as an arse manager, like old mate here.
Yeah, so Nightfield, they do pay better.
That's got to be fun as well. Like if you're that kind of sleeper, right? Like if you're a late nighter.
If that's your life, absolutely. I hated it.
My mate used to love it. Like, and he used to feel for Foodland, I reckon.
Yeah.
And he'd just fucking smoke 2 or 3 bongs, go in there, smash it out, sit in the car park, sink a 3 more bong.
And you know what?
3 more bong. and then drive home.
Yeah. That's not how my work day went. I'd start at 1:30 and I'd finish about midnight each night. So like I said, it wasn't that night feel. You do learn a lot. Like obviously you're responsible for ordering for the store, the grocery, and making sure that you don't run out of stock. It is a fine line.
It can be a challenging group of people to manage as well. So it teaches you a lot of human skill.
Yeah, well, at my peak at that store, I had 26 night fillers on it per night.
Yeah.
So had me, my assistant manager, and my 3 IC.
Oh, you were a full manager
of night fill, yeah.
Not an ass manager.
No, well, I was assistant store manager, but I did run the store for 6 months when my store manager snapped his leg in half on a Good Friday. That was fun.
The donut.
To pop the button, but yeah, it was a lot. There's obviously, you're responsible for a lot at night when there's not as many senior managers. So
do you ever have like people try and break in or like get in there while you're working?
Not at that particular store. At another store, yes. I'd try and people come through the back roller door.
Do you ever catch people going through the bins?
Yeah.
All the time?
All the time. Yeah.
Do you ever have staff hiding good stuff in the bins and then stealing it?
I've
only heard about this happening. I've never done it.
Not my staff. None of my staff ever did it because I knew everything that went on in my department.
Yeah.
But there were other staff members. There was other departments that were not as.
Can you hear that?
On.
That's the sweet, sweet sound of a double shot piccolo being made.
Did she say who was making it?
No one said shit. Have they?
Don't know.
Jason Clinton on IG, duty manager at Woolies was the best. Running a temp of night fill ladies was interesting. I'm going to go back to the top. Jan Jones on Facebook. No, Adam, it's dead. Lol. Was that responding to someone's lawn question?
That's mum, and that's referring to the Tahoma. Yeah, she says it's dead, but it's not dead.
It's dormant, mum.
Yeah,
chill out.
It's
it just
very
needs
dormant.
some sunshine and some water and stuff. And some of that high-quality Lawnhub fertilizer available at lawnhub.com.au.
I'm actually toying with the idea of doing a bent over sow on the Tahoma, just so we can have something next winter.
I'm struggling with the mental fatigue of life to a point where I can't fathom lawn right now. I have so much going on that, like, recently I've had periods where I've just looked at, someone's talked to me and I've looked at them and I'm like, can you just fuck off in my head? And I don't say it. And it's happening heaps because I'm like, I don't want to be, because I put myself in my own situation. Like I create my own life. So I don't want to be dramatic about it, but I'm like, I don't have the energy to process this. And I don't even know how to say that politely. So I'm just smiling and nodding. I'm just like, all right. And then you see me walk off and you're like, oh, there goes Clint.
But it also, like there's obviously, if you work in this, especially this office, you pick up on how each other is that particular day. So if you're switched on enough, you know when not to talk to someone. But unfortunately,
I'm good to talk to now. I've just had a
donut.
You've got
a coffee made for you.
I hope so. Mudge is watching. Mudge would be driving and listening and typing. Good one, Mudge. That's not safe. Tony Calio on Facebook. Sorry, guys, but I missed. Why is your logo so contentious? I think with regards to the charity thing.
Hey.
That looks good. Has it got any CC in it?
Or Bailey's?
We had a few customers this morning in for the barbecue and I made them some Canadian club lattes. So I think it's just the brand in general. Like the logo obviously resembles another logo, which the majority of people that take issue with it probably also go to the website. And if everyone's full internet history was on their forehead, people might start talking a bit differently or acting a bit differently. But
yes,
I think it's just the general the vibe. That if we're going to go down the castle, it's the vibe of it because there's a lot of double entendres, which is the name of Dylan's next film, Double Entendre 2. Revenge of the Dildo, spelled DYLDO. No. All right, cool.
Clever.
So yeah, I think that some people, most people, or a lot of people, take a position based on what they think the world thinks they should take the position on, rather than just being their own person. And short of maybe some very strongly opinioned religious humans that have a very strong position around porn, I don't really think that the issues that people have with our business are their own opinions. I think it's, I guess, partially a DEI-driven thing where, well, the world says I should be offended, so guess what? We're getting offended. And I think if people really took some time, this is not just around what we do, but around what a lot of people do, if people actually took some time to understand more about the thing that they're taking issue with or the person that they're taking issue with, they might find that they have a lot more in common with that person or that business or that thing than they actually give credit or think about. And you might find a little bit more collaboration and tolerance. So there. I hope that answers the question. Anyway, back to the show. Adam on YouTube, have cleared the front yard down to bare ground and planning on planting 16 standard roses. I'm sorry, man. I feel bad for you.
To stop the postie?
Of assorted heights. Would the hub's bush be suitable for roses?
Yep. My roses, you got to time your fertilizer application though.
Aren't roses like coriander?
No.
That's good. Thanks, Jace.
You got to time it because if you go too early, they'll bloom too early and then they turn to shit at the back end.
You just got to
of the
put
season.
dry ice on the roots.
Is that a thing?
That's what they do at Augusta to control the flowering of the lilies.
Yes. Yeah. And the
Come on, man.
no, I thought, but we're talking about roses,
Well, they're all walnuts.
azaleas.
There.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
Mm.
Look at these kids with their Apple computers, fucking living the dream, gainfully employed. When you started university, neither of your parents expected you to actually have jobs. You know that.
Wow. Jesus.
It's their generation. It's not their fault. It's their parents' fault.
Okay, but yes, bush is 100% suitable for roses. I use it. I've only used bush for the last, since I started on my roses, and yeah, I've been yielding great results.
I use bush on everything.
Yeah, I've even used it on my back lawn.
You can. Yep.
So I
Don't
ran
need it.
out of Trojan, so
I've got fertilizer in my back seat. I still haven't used.
that's all right.
Doesn't matter.
It's beautiful out here at the
Yeah,
moment.
sunshine. It was meant to be 25 mil of rain yesterday, and it was like what, no more than 16. Fix it fingers. Awesome. So follow up. Temps suggestion, question mark.
So, sorry, no.
No, I don't have a turf qualification,
Nah,
so I don't
neither.
want to
So
answer.
we have to skip this question. So, Dylan, any input? Nah. So, all right. Sorry for everyone.
I have an answer that was told to me by someone who has a turf qualification. That's
Yeah,
all. I was just
yeah.
going to parrot that.
Yeah, you say it because it's the same as what I was
So
going to say anyway.
the answer is that when the day and the night temperatures combined add up to 36 was the answer that Max would you always say.
Yep.
So if you've got 23 during the day and 13 at night, then you've got your 26 and that's where you're at.
Yep. 36.
It's probably in a turf grass diploma handbook somewhere.
I'm sure.
Adam,
Which
you'll
are
get a
all-
message. Someone will tell you. It's
Which
okay.
you know what? If you know where to look, all those same documents are available to download for free on
What?
the
So
internet.
below common man like you?
Yep. That's how I've learned a lot.
I'm going to intentionally not learn and continue down my path of low intelligence. Nate Extreme, I know all about working with difficult people, comma, former chef. We have a former chef
Yes.
working for us, actually.
We've got two.
We got two now.
Yeah, Ryan used to be a chef. That's how you told me the history on my knives that I won.
I want those knives. How much do you want for them?
I don't. They look fucking wicked.
Actually,
so-
on knives, I've used my new knife today to cut a donut in half. I think the knife's out there. Two chefs. We should really make them cook me food. Excuse me? That's horrible. Why would you say that to someone? She said, fuck off.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't know what they can cook. Oh, you get back to me on that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Mudgy on Facebook. Fill the shelf. Fill two shelf.
Fill two shelf.
Yeah.
That I actually for that I thought he was taking the piss when he was like, "What? Fill two shelf." FTS. That's what I used to write on my sheets.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, and you and Mudge had a bit of a.
Well, he didn't understand what filter shelf meant.
Well, no one does.
No, but he was filling stock.
Yeah.
He had it in his hand. I was like, yeah, just fill it to shelf.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to a normal person.
I don't know. I beg to differ. I think that's
What does that mean to you?
fill that stock in your hand to the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I do with this shop? With this stock?
Filter shelf. Yeah. What if the shelf's full?
Well, then whatever the process is after that. If it was in the supermarket, we'd go on the overhead.
Steal it. Clay Earsman on IG. My buffalo is green but brown in patches. What can I do? Send photos.
Yeah, send photos. Depends what those brown patches are. They're like, and I know
what they look like. Do they look like leopard print?
Yeah.
Do you have a dog?
Do you have a tree that's pushing up saplings? Like, yeah. If you can, send some photos through, either to the web chat or to adam@lawnhub.com.au, and I'll have a look.
Did I tell you I'm buying Lawnhub a phone number?
Yes. Yeah, we spoke about this last week.
Do you know about that? So our new chat function has a text capability. And when I signed up with him, I'm like, has to have 69 in it at least 3 times. And he's like, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Fucking typical salesperson. Didn't do it. And so I'm like, they go, if you buy the number that you want, you know, we can change it to whatever. Basically port your number over. So I went looking for phone numbers. Gold phone numbers, they call them. What's the most expensive phone number you would think would be on a website that you could go buy as your new fucking Vodafone ported phone number? What do you think you'd pay for a phone number in Australian dollars?
80, like if you were to
The most expensive one they've got listed right now. I'll give you the phone number. 0410 000
I was thinking something fun like booties written like 8s and 0s.
Yeah, well, you want some 8s? I'll give you some 8s. What do we got here? 0488858885. They're not the most expensive though. The most expensive is
That's
04.
boobs.
Isn't
it?
No, that's 888, not 8008
Okay.
S. But
Sorry.
I'm glad you've got that on the mind.
Well, that's what Dylan said.
No, well, there's one here that's 04 boob bob 8. For context, the 8s are in the $11,000 to $12,000 bracket.
But the top one, that first one you said.
It's the triple. It's a double triple. 000 000. Please give me a number so we can carry on with the podcast.
For the 0000,
Yeah.
13,000.
Nope. $240,000.
Quite cool.
Yeah. And then for $233,333, you've got 0407, 0408, and 0409, followed by 222. But yeah, the 69ers, they all kind of start in the 0498696969's $8,000. And I just don't know if it's exciting enough for me to go spend $8,000 on a phone number, so that when people get a text from Lawnhub, they're like, ha, fucking he's playing 69. So yeah. And also it might obviously cause more trouble if we're trying to get the support of the non-porn supporters. Anyway, thought that you might like share that, you know, bit of a funny little phone number story, bit of education for you guys in the media field. You know, you can buy phone numbers. Ginger Nuts on YouTube. Do you have a spray to get rid of blue cooch from wintergreen cooch in northern New South fucking Wales? How do you kill cooch in cooch?
Fun fact, blue cooch isn't actually a cooch variety.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the scientific name for cooch, which I can't pronounce because I'm not qualified.
We should probably get Kira to do like a school of pronunciation with you and just work on that for the next week.
Yeah. Cactylondaclyn or something.
Chloroform.
That makes you go to sleep. Anyway, there are chemicals available that are not safe for blue cooch but safe for wintergreen. But that specific registered use, then nothing comes to mind. So essentially, read between the lines.
Whoa. Are you going off label?
No. Yeah, there's chemicals that isn't safe for one turf variety but is for the other.
Please hold.
But there also is there is a product not available to the public that is suitable to do something very similar to that as well. But Yes. Please hold.
Sorry, just doing some business. 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 Can we get that one added to the soundboard?
Business.
Hezbollah going business.
I haven't seen him in ages. JP used to be obsessed with him.
I think he punched a cat.
For those who didn't hear that, Dylan said, I think he punched a cat. I think he punched a cat. Not to be confused with punched some pussy. I think he punched a cat.
Wow. That's
And does that get you cancelled? Mike Tyson would be like, "It's okay, he's a kid." No, it's okay, he's a kid.
final.
Start nibbling his ear.
Yeah.
Put that man down. He's the man. All right. So there's no more questions in that part of the world. So I'm going to go back to our artificial intelligence. That's what we should call this podcast. Okay, cool. We'll whiteboard that and we'll just, do some stuff.
We'll wait later. We'll see what happens.
Maybe if you can just get DALL-E to do an image of two uneducated, non-qualified orange. That's a party foul. Hey, I'm just recording a podcast. I'll have to call you back. I probably shouldn't have answered. It's very unprofessional, but I'll give you a buzz back afterwards. See you, man. All right, cool. See you. All right. Business never sleeps, mate.
Business never sleeps.
I should probably put that on silent. He's going to send me something. This could be interesting. Oh, this is good. I love when people connect with you on LinkedIn. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
this is actually just a nice comment. Nice person. I don't know. I shouldn't share it, but it was a nice comment.
we don't get many of them.
Have a look. Oh, or I could just pass it to you. All right, so I'm going to give more questions. Oh, there you go. Kira has sorted that out. Is that called artificial intelligence? Does the box in the background have a Lawnhub picture on it? Hey, dude.
Nice.
Can you see that on the camera?
Where the hell did you just
had
generate
AI
that?
punch that out. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That supports the theory that we have one too many people in our media team.
Also,
You're throwing it up on the screen. Look at you guys being adults. Okay, we don't need to fire a media person. It's all good. Hey, should I get stickers on the back of my laptop to make myself look younger and more hip?
what the fuck?
Yeah.
To just throw that out just then.
I said, can you generate and then the too rough around the edges?
Look at the biceps on me. You're the ranger. Oh, gosh. All right, back to the show. What are the most common mistakes homeowners make when it comes to lawn care, and how can they avoid them? This is question 2 from the robot that is going to take over the world and kill all of us humans.
I think you touched on it last week, where over application or too frequent applications. So, and two isn't always more. So, if the label suggests that you use a product twice in a 12-month period, only use it twice in a 12-month period. There's obviously a lot of fungicides. Some herbicides do that as well. Fertilizer, if it says two.
Look, I know you're midstream. It's like trying to stop pissing halfway. Hey, there's a guy here picking up FPOS machines. Do you know if they're the ones on Chaz's desk?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, cool.
I saw that come through and I've not been... Is there anything in Asana?
This is such an unprofessional podcast.
All
good. Told him to come back Tuesday. All right. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're talking about over-application of fertilizers and,
Yeah,
and
over-application.
pissing, stopping halfway through a wee.
Yeah, and too frequent applications. Something like, you don't want to... So if the application rate is 2.5 kilos per 100 square meters every 8 to 12 weeks, then you're not applying it again in 4 weeks. That leads to, added thatch issues, thatch management. Also, potentially, depending on what's going on at the time, it could increase disease pressure. It could also increase rapid growth to a point where you're mowing every 2 or 3 days, but you're scalping the lawn because there's just too much nitrogen being fed to the plant. And in the right condition, it will take up majority of that, if not all of it. So, less is more, especially herbicides. So, like NSFW, it's 50 mils per 100 square meters. Stick to that. 100 mils per 100 square meters. That's not going to give you a better result, and it could actually end up being a bad result for your lawn. So,
Matthew Enright on IG. Best time to start a lawn reno ? 7 a.m.
Yeah. On a Saturday morning.
9 a.m.
Yeah.
on a Saturday morning.
10 a.m. on a Sunday because, can't be loud and shit on a Sunday. Is that still a thing? Or is that only an Adelaide thing? You can't be
Noise
loud.
pollution is a blight on society and you should not be making fun of it. What if you can get an electric corer?
Imagine the torque. That'd be heavy though. You need it big enough. And,
Elon would be able to sort that out.
Sorry, electrics have motors, not engines. Motors.
What?
They have motors.
An engine can only be combustion
Yes.
based on what?
But that's what.
Did you get a message from someone last night saying you shouldn't say
Not
it?
last night, no. But there was a bit of back and forth about on
Motors.
One of the pages that
Motor.
electrics only have motors, not engines.
Really? You know what? I reckon Elon would say it doesn't matter,
It
man.
doesn't matter. But yeah, back to the reno, back to what we were talking about before. So when you have daytime temperatures and nighttime temperatures that add up to 36 degrees, and like I said, if that means we have to hold out till November, then we're holding out till November. The reason why you want to hold out till those temperatures is from day one when you do it to day whatever till it's fully recovered will be much shorter than if you start it at the first day of September or the first day of October, depending on the weather. If you have banging weather at that time of year,
Like if you're anywhere in Queensland right
yeah,
now. Just do a reno today.
But unfortunately down here, it's a bit, we're sort of,
Mind you just answered the FPOS question. Josie, if you want to tell Brando that Mudgy said that the FPOS machines are behind Jazz's desk.
okay, nice.
Of course Mudge knows. Okay. Nate Extreme on YouTube. I'm only going to read what he said. This is his opinion and not mine, and everyone calm down. My local Mitre 10 stocks an inferior lawn care brand in brackets, lawn porn, close bracket, comma. What's in it for me if I take some photos of Hub products in front of them? I think that the pleasure of knowing that you're making the world a better place. If your action, do we want Mitre 10?
So we've had that question.
That's my first question.
Yeah, we've had that question before. Why aren't we in hardware stores such as Mitre 10? It's because even though I think
It's probably because they think we're fucking goons.
no, I think each Mitre 10's independently owned, but it's part of a franchise. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's 100% the case, but I know that they buy through Metcash.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Metcash owns some of the stores or not, but
Yeah.
they would have
They'd have certain
a national agreement. Or
yeah, they'd
whatever.
have certain ways. They'd have certain things in place that have to be in stores, and there may be a certain like percentage of stuff that the owner can say, "Oh yeah, I want to stock said product."
I think I have a two-part answer. One, we would be happy to work with any supplier that meets our values, which they might,
And our guidelines.
as long as they don't cross swords with an existing reseller. We have a respect. I think it's called business ethics, and it sits really highly on my list of concerns. Go watch Billy Madison. And so if it was a case that a Mitre 10 was next to, say, I don't know, like irrigation pumps and more, then it would be that store can't have it, or Ben gets a kicker. So Ben, we're giving Mitre 10, and here's $10,000 worth of stock. Sorry for the fuck around. So that would be the first thing. It would have to be conditional. Two, to answer your question, if Mitre 10 nationally took us up and it worked for both parties, I would give you a brand new lawnmower of your choice capped at $5,000. That's the answer.
Bit like houses, the mold prices coming down.
Are they?
Yeah, you're seeing
What, Scotty B's? Can I get a
Yeah.
unicorn for under $1,000 now, man?
Well, there's been some cheap Scott
Fucking should have
Bonners.
sold my fucking unicorn when it was up.
You know, at yours at pristine condition,
It cost 4.5 to get it to
you
where it
could have
was.
sold it for 7.
It's still at 4.5 now. I haven't used it since you got it fixed.
Yeah.
It's still sitting out the
and
back.
it rolls so nicely now. Thanks, Steve.
yeah.
No, that was Daryl that fixed that.
I have
Sorry.
a Lawnhub
Steve.
shop in my
Sharp.
head. So I should probably get AI to generate it, but it's an orange warehouse. No, it's not. It's a black warehouse because
Like
it won't
a
work with the logo.
retail shop.
Yeah, but it's a museum, right? So there's all these mowers that have been renoed. So Daryl could pretty much just live there. And then there's a pick and mix style bucket refill thing with a dust extractor, so that all of these fucking greenies can finally bring their buckets in and go press a button and then like pay wave, and they'll get like a tub of Trojan refilled for $15, and it just goes and it fills it up, and then they can go and have a look at like every variety of hybrid cooch and even original cooches on display, and then your kids can do a treasure hunt, and then like just so that we don't have any issues in the future with idiot adults that were kids once, they could learn about hybrid cooches and they could get like stamps, right? And then if you get all the stamps, then you get a certificate at the end, and you maybe get to take a blade of Santa Ana home so that you can make your own hybrid at home and like grow it from scratch, like in a pot, maybe on the windowsill, like a chia pet. So having that, and then like so people could come there and buy their fertilizer, and we could even have like education days and shit like that, and stock stuff there. So I have this vision of that, and this is going somewhere, and that's where I want that unicorn at the museum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, wasn't it? Yeah, mowers.
So
yeah.
I just imagine having it in this glass case, and it's like that was Clint's first mower, this was Clint's liver.
Yeah.
Like this is this, and you just kind of
These are the rotary scissors.
yeah. This is the rotary scissors he always talked about. This is his toenail.
Yeah. Oh God.
Okay. I don't know where education comes from.
Did he say education?
Did I?
People making a
I said education. It's just because you don't speak the Queen's convict English, and that you're still stuck with this fucking like hybrid version of South African and New Zealand. I think I got close. Play it back. And so we've got convict English. That's what Australian English is, right? So fact check me, but from what I understand, the accent that we have is a drunken Cockney slur, which turned into Adelaide. Because
No, but we didn't get settled by convicts.
No, but that was still pretty loose. Like, who the fuck gets on a boat and comes to the fucking like other side of the flat Earth to like start a new fucking life?
No comment.
My family, that's who. All right, Luke Gacy. Happy Friday, gents, and Kira. Happy Friday to you too, mate.
Happy Friday.
Fuck Fridays. Can we get that as a shirt?
If you want.
Oh, I just need a team that can just do it.
Yeah, well, I said if you want.
All right. Can you get me a shirt that says Fuck Fridays?
Just one?
AS color 2XL. I want 3 of them, and I want it to just say Fuck Fridays, pretty big, but in black ink on a black shirt.
All right, you got that down, Kira? Because one of you will have
just
to
so you can
design
just see it. So if someone's like, does that dude's shirt say Fuck Fridays? Yeah. Thank you.
And then on one of them, you get a little I and a little on in between Fuck Fridays. Gawler. Incorrect.
VJ on YouTube. I am lazy. Some of my best staff are lazy, mate. Can I mix roots and shoots and 3-way and apply together? Thank you.
Yes.
You
Yes. You can also, if you want to have the mixing guide, it's on the spray pack and the ultimate spray pack landing page on our website. There's a mixing guide there of all the Lawnhub products that are able to be mixed together.
Nate just replied to my might attend question with an emoji that goes like this.
Yeah, I don't know if it was ready for that.
What's the answer to the question? You imagine working here? Because that's the kind of answer that these guys get when they're like, hey, man, can we get a new gas tank for the forklift? And then I go on, well, now that I think about it, shouldn't we be using electric forklifts? And then like we could actually probably store them up on the pallet racks and charge them so we can get one that pulls itself up onto the rack and plugs itself in.
That's not even a joke. That's how it works. Oh, no.
It's a new emoji.
Can we put that on a shirt?
That's the fuck Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, we just lost the remaining Christian audience. All right. Brandon, all good. I told him I'll be back to come back Tuesday, and then Brandon Nixon is out of office and may not respond. He's just like, nah, I'm out of here. Yeah, POS machines can get fucked. All right. Back to my third question from 10 questions created by the robots that are going to kill us all. How do you determine the best type of grass for a specific region or climate?
It's a good question.
I know. It was invented by the most brainiest brain in the brain world.
So if I
Sam Altman.
if I was trying to work out what lawn variety I would be choosing based on those factors, I would do some research. So like if you're in Tasmania, you're probably going to steer more towards a cool season, only because you won't see the full benefits of having a warm season lawn.
I'm starting to see a bit of a fucking diagram here. Like temperature,
Yeah.
hot, cold,
Yep.
desire to do anything, yes, high, low,
Yep.
like cooch, rye,
Yep.
buffalo, like it's there. We could probably sell this.
Yep. And then you
Well,
also
we should probably get it like peer reviewed by someone with a turf qualification, but then they could sell it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But basically, your turf variety that you want to choose is your first and foremost is what do you want to achieve? If you want to achieve something that's just going to be green most of the year, Kaiku is probably going to be, and you're not looking for a high maintenance, like Kaiku
no
can be high
cockies.
maintenance, and you got to make sure there's no cockies.
You got to live in a part of Australia where the galahs don't exist.
But if you're looking for that fine turf, really sports field, golf course look, then you're going to look for a cooch. If you're in Tasmania and you want both, then you could look down the bent route. Now, obviously, that's going to be high maintenance, but it's going to give you that golf course look. If you're just looking for a nice green lawn, then obviously, your ryegrass, your fescues, etc., they're going to be green all year round, given that Tasmania doesn't get the hot summers as much as South Australia and Victoria. Moving up to Victoria, South Australia, and parts of Western Australia, you probably could either choose the cool season route or the warm season route. But you really need to decide and commit to one. As Clint talked about last week, the rye oversow that he's done, he's still getting effects from that. If that's something that you can live with, it's, you have a green lawn all year round, it's obviously something you can do. When you start moving up into the tropical regions, that's sort of where your zoysias, your Queensland blues, and your other cooch, Kaiku, and buffalo, you really sport for choice up there. I wouldn't be doing a cool season grass up there at all. Disease, water requirements. A lot of the golf courses up there are cooch greens as well. So that's also a telltale sign. If an area is not using a cool season grass on their golf greens, which are looked after every day, then we're probably not in the right environment for a cool season lawn at all. So, second thing is sunlight. Do you have full sunlight, then every single grass variety is going to be suited for you. If you have part shade, part sun, it pretty much will knock out majority of your cooches. Your buffalo is more shade tolerant, and if you're competing with shade, that's going to be pretty much one of the only warm season varieties that you can deal with. Obviously, if you have cool season, you're looking at your fine and chewing fescues and all that sort of stuff. If you have very low sunlight to none, it's either a paved surface, concrete surface, artificial, or just a garden that requires low light.
Artificial. Come on, man.
I know that
Fucking
sucks.
idiot. What are you talking?
But-
That was such a good.
I know. I'm sorry.
And then you said that.
I know. I'm sorry, but some people they can tolerate it, and that's fine. Like I said before, we're diverse. We accommodate for everyone.
Brando messaged me before and said Eminem's new album's out.
Yeah, I did see that. I haven't listened to it.
Anyone that's tuning in had a listen yet? Is it good? It would be good, but is it good?
Hopefully that answered the question.
Pick a number from 4 to 10.
7.
How can homeowners identify and address common law pests and diseases? Google Lens, man.
Google Lens. That's it's a free service, or I'm pretty sure the Google app's free, isn't it? Yeah, you don't have to pay for it. You might need to make a login to be able to use it.
Everything has a cost,
Yeah.
and in this case, the cost is your privacy and information.
Yes. Google Lens does a pretty good job, and it will continue to get better the more people use it.
Until it takes over your life.
Yes.
And kills you and eats your flesh and feeds it to the robots.
The Lawnhub book that Dylan's already done some work on the pest page, haven't you? Yeah. So
Dylan's on the pest page.
yeah, it's actually done.
Right now.
He's done a really good job. So something like a book or, a digital app, something like that, you'll be able to go, okay, well that.
We're going to sell this book?
No. We've made that very clear.
Fucking hell.
We're not going
It's
to
like
charge.
a good opportunity to
Exploit it.
Yeah, get all these money from these people.
Something like that. But another good thing to do as well is research. So okay, I've got brown spots in my lawn and I live in X suburb or X state, and you'll see common, because it's going to be very dollar spot was prolific up in Queensland 6 months ago. You'll probably find that, if someone else has got it, then maybe I've got it, but not always the case. But, you can always compare and go, yep, that looks very similar. You can do soil tests. You can do swab tests. There's all sorts of things. But
Swab tests.
yeah, there's a service where you can get your cotton tip and put it in there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Kira turned my image into a cartoon.
Nice.
Man looks tired. How many beers is an acceptable number of beers to have before going to a sporting event that children are playing in?
I feel like this is a common question in this office.
Okay.
2?
Okay, I can do 2. I probably won't be able to drive if we can go from the bottom shelf. Chris Tech on Facebook. Metro WA is so very salty. Almost beach sand, holds no nutrients. When I lived there, Sir Walter goes well, low maintenance too.
Yeah.
That's the comment.
Yeah.
You agree with what he's saying?
Yeah. There's some zoysia types as well that tolerate salty.
Saltini?
Saltini?
Sounds like something, a biscuit that you'd have if you were like a cow and you'd had some gut issues.
Seashore paspalum as well. That's another one that tolerates.
Sounds like what the cow might eat.
Yes.
I feel like going to the beach.
I don't think it would be very nice at the moment, though.
Okay.
Doesn't the weed come through down the Adelaide coastline during winter?
As in we move the drugs on the coast?
No. The South Australian seagrass gets collected. And remember how Glenelg down there, a couple times a year, gets really bad and they got to bring the trucks in?
I feel like this is a phone a friend thing that Menina might be able to help with.
Yeah.
She'd know.
She'd explain why it would happen to her.
She started her own business.
Yeah, she said that.
Consulting. She's on Instagram. You can give her a follow. I can't remember what it was called. Thornley Gilby or something?
I thought it was Green Echo or something.
No. That was it. There's another one now. Oh, God. Every time I go into my Instagram search, I'm like, ooh. It is Torgerson Gilby. I hope that's pronounced properly. Kate Torgerson and Menina Gilby are biodiversity and sustainability consultants providing services to turf facilities, councils, and green spaces. Yeah. So maybe, I think the gecko might have been her own thing, and then
Maybe. Yeah.
she's kind of gone and done her own, they've done a business together.
See, at Glenelg, they've just drained that area and they're pulling the carp out, and they found that big turtle on the Glenelg Golf Course maintenance page.
Nope. Is this something that you want to explain? I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. They drained
one of the dams.
Yeah, why?
I think they're cleaning it up. They're doing some testing, and they pulled all the carp out of it.
They don't want carp?
No.
That's not very biodiverse of them.
No, it'll get put into fertilizer and shit.
But aren't all microbiologicals and monkeys and fish all equal, and we should treat them that way?
Maybe, but in South Australia, the carp's a pest.
Can they introduce, say, something else to control the carp? Humans.
Maybe.
A bounty. Foxes. Foxes will sort out the rabbits.
Yeah. Look how that turned out.
Would you have a pet fox?
They're too unpredictable. Bit
Yeah.
like Tiger King.
Untrainable.
Mm.
Okay.
Too cunning. Too smart.
Cunning like a fox.
Mm.
What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? Oh, shit. I don't know. Do I have a favorite
A
animal?
dog? Your dog?
I think the first time I saw a red-tailed black cockatoo was pretty cool in the wild.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, I'd like birds.
Yeah, I like birds.
Mm.
Leopard is mine.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get one.
Yeah.
A stuffed one. That's a good one. Thanks, Kira. You're doing some great work. You know? Look like fucking fat Popeye. Arr.
The wedge-tailed eagle's out in oh no. The wedge-tailed eagle out in the Flinders Ranges, they're pretty cool. They're quite magnificent beasts.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the eagle chat because the American eagle just fucking, I don't know. Could our eagle beat their eagle?
Yes. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
In like a street fight?
Mhm. Yep.
No weapons.
No weapons.
Just talons and beaks and wings.
The bald eagle's main food source is fish,
Okay.
whereas our wedge-tailed eagle
Brown
will take a small fucking child.
Maybe it wasn't a dingo.
Yeah. Oh, wedge-tailed eagle stole me baby.
Incorrect. Okay. Another number between 4 and 10, not including 7. That goes for way too long, Dylan. The fucking clapping goes for half as long, you asshole.
Go 5.
Number 5, can you share some tips for maintaining a healthy lawn during extreme weather conditions such as droughts or heavy rainfall? Before you answer, Nate Extreme, carp is the worst.
Carp is the worst.
I think that is misunderstood. They breed well. Imagine if you were trying to farm them. It'd be so easy.
It's interesting because obviously in Europe they're
If you want your water to be
Yeah.
turbulent, turbidity.
Yeah.
I used to test for turbidity for Teacher Galley Council when I was younger.
It's interesting because
Fun
obviously in Europe and parts of China they're considered like a real special fish, but here they just have conditions where they just breed off their head, you know. So
Nate Extreme also just added, "This is awkward. I have a carp tattoo." Oh, that's you saying it.
a carp or a koi? Yeah, koi. I know they're part of the same family, but koi's are pretty.
Oh,
koi's
is
are
that kind of
pretty
like
carp.
saying Santarana is not a hybrid? You're an idiot. They're not part. What, the fish family?
No, they're part of the koi family. Carp and koi are part of the obviously.
Yeah, I've got
koi.
ChatGPT open, man. I can fucking work this shit out for you.
Yeah, but
You got someone to be?
koi are pretty carp, and you can't have koi here in South Australia.
So not all carp are koi, but all koi are carp, or the other way around.
I'm not sure,
You
but
guys-
I know what you're saying.
Your mouth's writing checks your body can't cash. I get no joy from anything.
What's the scientific name for a carp?
Carpoleus turbiditus environmentalis recust.
Anyway, tips for extreme weather. Now, typically,
Start with drought.
you start with drought. So,
Cyprinius carpio.
and what's the scientific name for
Are you
koi?
keeping up? Coipius fishios.
Okay, I don't know now.
It's called Jesus.
Yeah. So
Cyprinicus fabricius. Cyprinius rubro fuxus. Fuscus. Cyprinius, hang on a sec.
So what's is Cyprinius the same as carp? Cyprinius, they're part of the Cyprinius family. Is that
Yeah, they
right?
both start with Cyprinius.
Yeah, so they're part of the Cyprinius family.
All right, let me just get Google to say this for me. Say this.
All right, while you do that, I need to do a wee, and then I'll answer the question about extreme.
Don't they have? Doesn't Google have a thing where it will say a word for you?
Better turn that TikTok mic off, otherwise we'll have what happened.
What, when you just say, "Hey Google, play porn movies." All right, so I'm not going to be able to work that out. What else do we got? There's nothing. You guys are in trouble now. I got no idea. Dylan, you got any questions for me?
When are we going to see some more lawn videos at your house?
When are we going to see some more lawn videos at my house? I don't know. October? I don't know. I honestly just want to get drunk and stand in the sun. I can't, what, you know? I know alcohol's poison and it's probably going to kill me, but just get drunk and stand in the sun. So I've got this theory that my lack of desire to be doing stuff at home around my lawn is weather connected because I don't want to be outside. And at the moment I'm working sunrise to sunset. So there's no like, when you finish at like 4 and you get home and you've got 4 hours of sunlight left and you're like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I just don't, there's nothing I want to do. We've just hired a bunch. Well, we've hired 2 more staff at Kent Town, and I think if we can, like, Lawnhub's probably going to have to recruit. I'm thinking 15 people between now and the end of the year, like to work in that part of the business, packing orders. And I think once they all come in, it's probably going to free me and Jonesy up a bit more. Like the more people you get in there, the more of the stuff that we've had to get involved in through winter, we won't need to be as involved in. So it might free us up to do a bit more content. But if we open the studio and then we've got to do training videos and yeah. Anyway, where's pronunciation of Cyprinius rubifucus? There's 7 audio. This is good. So people go on here and record this. Is that right? What's he doing? I think Jonesy went for a number 1 and it turned into a number 2. Yeah, there's a website called howtopronounce.com and it looks like people can go there and pronounce things and get ranked on their pronunciation. And there are 7, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 5. There are 5 different pronunciations. Oh, hang on, no, there's show more voices. There's 7. Some have a negative rating. We could have some fun with this. We could go record. Why am I not getting audio out of my computer? Jaron? No, it's on full blast. I think it might be because I've plugged it into a screen. It was happening yesterday when I was trying to listen to music. You didn't miss anything exciting.
No.
So Chris Tech on Facebook, who mentioned that thing about WA before,
Yes.
has just said, what's the best type of lawn top dressing for Empire Zoysia with clay soil in southeast Queensland?
A wash sand, but preferably that bit like the Lawnhub top dress sand, which offers no like nutritional value. It's just for leveling purposes.
Glass balls.
But it also aids in drainage if you core and over time. Like obviously it's not going to happen in one season, but yeah, I'd just go for a wash sand over like a sandy loam or an organic mixture. But to prepare for drought,
yeah, the question that was asked 4 minutes ago.
Or how to, what was the, can you read?
All right, here we go. You ready, Jonesy?
Mm-hmm.
This is the scientific name for koi.
Cyprinus rubofuscus.
Oh, that's shit.
Oh, yeah.
Cyprinus rubofuscus.
That's it. Cyprinus rubofuscus.
Okay.
Let's
You
see
were close.
What the lowest ranked one is.
Cyprinus rubofuscus.
God, that person was struggling.
It's just like, I've got a bit of emphysema and I'm going to try. So this website, how to pronounce,
Yeah.
I want to go spend a lot of time just recording how to say things on here. And give me one. Mate.
Common cooch.
No, mate. Where does it contain mate? Mate. I just want mate. Here we go.
Mate.
No, I want mate.
Mate. Mate.
No.
Mate.
Mm.
Mate.
Mm.
Mate.
Yeah. No. All right. What about hybrid? Couch. What? It's not working.
Interesting.
Hybrid vigor? It doesn't have hybrid cooch.
Hybrid vigor.
Don't know that.
Interesting.
So what we're talking about drought.
Yeah. So what was? Can you read?
Fuck off. Ball bag's not something. Is fuck off something? Words that contain fuck off. Stave off.
Wow. Exhilarating.
Stave off.
Wow.
Governor.
Stave off.
All right, you want me to get back to the podcast?
Yeah. Back to usual. What was
I get no joy from anything.
I can't even remember the context.
Drought, what do you do? Flood, what do you do?
Yeah, is that So for drought, obviously for drought, we're talking hot, dry. Not always hot and dry, but drought refers to the term no water for a long period of time. Now, drought is a tough one because if you haven't prepped the lawn to have it in a healthy condition in the first place, once a drought hits, it's going to be very difficult because you're going to want to be using things like wetting agents. And if wetting agents only activate with the use of them being watered in. So if you can't get water because of the drought, or like we had in the early 2000s with severe water restrictions.
That was so good.
Lawns, for irrigation.
If you sold drip tube, it was
for a
time to be alive. Going to Vegas.
Unless you got a bore or something like that. It's going to be very difficult to obviously hold a lawn. But you may even also find that, and it happens with cool season grass during summer, where the lawn just might go dormant as well. Might just sit there and go, I'm not feeling too good. I'm probably just going to have a nap. And then when the rains return or we have access to water, the lawn comes back. On the opposite side of that, during severe rainfall, there's very little you can do. The only thing you can do is, again, preparation. So if you know that in a massive downpour and you're up in North Queensland, you're going to structure your backyard or your front yard to aid that. So if it's in blocked sections, you're going to have drainage, you're going to have, runoff sections. And probably in North Queensland parts, it's probably a council requirement, to be honest, to get water away from the house.
Well, all council requirements, it's slope away from house and all that, but
if we're talking severe,
drainage,
like obviously here in South Australia, we very rarely do we get that type of rainfall, but when we do, main North Road's flooded for 4 days. Because
you saying we might only get a 1 in 100 year flood once in 100 years?
Maybe. So in order for those...
Hey, should you even be talking about this if you don't have a hydraulic engineering background?
That's true.
And if you're not a weatherman, can you say the weather's nice?
Not financial advice. So even for both of those situations, the prep's done before it actually comes, ideally.
So if you're thinking about an extreme drought or if you're thinking about extreme flooding as it's happening, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
We actually have a question from a human.
Yep.
Mad Swanman on IG, either a Sydney Swan fan or someone who is a swan and a man and is mad. Dethatchers, any recommendations?
Depending on the size of your lawn. If you have a relatively residential friendly size backyard, or lawn that's of about 100 to 150 square meters, that Ryobi unit that we've used is a really good unit.
I've never used it.
Yeah, well, I've used it. I've used them many times on Kikuyu, Cooch, Buffalo. We used it on Buffalo. It does a really good job. It's not going to do the same job that a commercial scarifier will. Obviously, they're two completely different leagues. But sometimes if you go to a high yard, they might do a Cora and scarifier combo. So you may as well get both if you're going for the Cora as well. So
like a meal deal. A Vertigarda. I'm running out of batteries.
Oh, and the steel battery one's very good as well.
Is a Verticutter and a Dethatcher the same?
They can achieve similar results, but a Verticutter, a scarifier can't do what a Verticutter does, but a Verticutter can do what a scarifier does.
So it's pulling thatch out, but it's also slicing and dicing.
Yes, a Verticutters, the blades are much closer together, whereas a scarifier, the blades are further apart.
Yep. Could you use your new Damascus steel knives to verticut?
If I took my time, they are very nice knives, by the way.
Tell me about these knives. They do look nice. I want to get rid of my knives now and get your knives. I'm definitely hitting a wall.
So
what time is it? Kira, can you pass me?
on
the right-hand side, there's something about sauce.
When we went to the turf conference up in Brisbane, one of our suppliers on their
middle
stand
door, middle shelf,
said,
right-hand side.
If you follow us on LinkedIn, you go in the draw to win These knives or a cutlery or a bowl set.
You were just trying to get Brando some forks, so shut the fuck up.
I wasn't interested in any of the bowls, but yeah. And then I got the phone call last week or week before saying that I'd won. So yeah, and they're very nice, Japanese made.
Is it Japanese steel or Japanese made or Japanese made Japanese steel? Because you might have got caught up in the marketing. Yeah, just show me the open can, Kira. Maybe just walk it to Jonesy. I don't know.
It said Japanese made, so I'm not sure where the steel's from. I actually got a good history lesson on the steel forging technology from Simon.
Who's Simon?
The driver.
Simon. I got fucking into a conversation with him the other day about stuff that he went down some rabbit warren on YouTube about. I don't know what he was watching, but I was just like, you sound like my fucking kids. I get home and they're watching these people that live on islands on their own and just make huts and catch fish. And they're like, yeah,
but still are able to make 30 minutes.
They've also got like 4G cameras and 5G internet.
And they build a house out of sticks.
Yeah. Like when we got dropped on this island, we only bought film equipment.
Yeah, that's all we brought.
So we catch fish with wooden hooks.
Yeah, now we make millions off the revenue.
Christian Ritchie says, I've used the Ryobi on 400 square meters of Tiftuff.
Wow.
You'd have to be using that weekly.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, wow. How many batteries did you go through?
It's just the same battery, just to recharge it.
Yeah, but like, I get that, right? But did he have to?
It's a fucking comment in Teams.
Yeah,
man.
but
Christian, can you help us out here?
Yeah. Like, yeah, okay. And amp hours, because I've got two 5 amp hour batteries or 4 amp hour batteries.
What? That's the thing, an amp hour? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I've got two
5 amp hour.
Two 18 volt or 4 or 5 amp hour batteries. Yeah.
I didn't know amp hour was the thing. But also, I don't have an electrical qualification, so I shouldn't
lithium
be using
battery
power.
In my caravan's 200 lithium.
He said
amp
4
hours.
batteries.
4 batteries. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what the box
Battery
says.
per 100 square meters.
That's what the box says. That's how far it will do. So,
are we finished? He said 5 amp. Yeah, you're saying amp hour.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well,
I feel like you just added hour to amp.
Amp hours in 12 volt in using amp like that. Your battery to charge your phone takes 3 amp hours to charge your battery.
Not this phone, mate. This is 40 minutes. I bent it. Have you seen that? Did you say I bent it? I slammed it on the table last week.
Scared the fuck out of me.
Getting frustrated by our federal government and their desire for me to log into MyGov to probably pay them some money. And so I don't know if there's but I went, fuck, and it bent, but it didn't snap. So now I've got like it actually molds to my face. It's a very, very nice ergonomic phone now. So, all right, well, if there's no other questions, we might as well just end this podcast, and I have heaps of work to do. So
I got to write the weekly cut. What should we put in the deal this week?
I don't know. Is Dylan still making those movies?
Don't know.
What do people need this time of year? A hug.
I don't know. I did the liquid weed and feed pack last week. That went well.
I'm sure there was another question. Oh, they were coming through on the website chat. I was just going to answer the website chat.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just do that while we're live.
I don't know.
How many umbrellas have we got?
I don't know. Actually, off the top of my head, we've got your stash and then the stock stash.
The stash. My stash is for the ladies. He's playing out the music. It's not playing out anymore. I didn't get to use this much today. I get no joy from anything.
Brother,
Yeah, we done
Oh,
that.
you gotta give it that
what's that?
too and spit on that thing.
What's that, brother?
What, where she just spits on things?
Should be on.
That would be so funny. She gets a reality show and you just like, people sign up. They're like, so you bring what you want her to spit on. And people are like, this is my ex-husband. Spit on his face. This is my high school teacher. Spit on their face.
Yuck.
That's a good reality TV show.
It would be, and there'd be a very lot of the.
Have you ever seen the thing where there's like reality TV show where there's 10 guys in a house and 2 are gay and 8 aren't? And they all have to work out which ones are the gay ones. And if
never.
if you're the last one there and you're gay, then you win. But the reality is none of them are gay. So they're all trying to convert each other.
Oh God.
Oh God, I need to spend some time away from
A
the
bit
internet.
like the left eating the left. That'd be a good. That'd be. I'd watch that. Put a group of leftists. What the hell?
Oh, fuck it. Let's go. See ya. Thanks
All right.
for tuning in to
Thank
those of
you.
you that managed to survive that one. I promise you that these are better.
Oh my God!
Have I ever lied before? Oh, God. We should probably go do a podcasting qualification.
Yeah. Well, it's getting a bit like that, isn't it?
What do they say? Opinions are like assholes.
Everyone's
They
got
can
one.
get fucked.
Oh.
All right. Let's go.
Well, not everyone's got one, I suppose. See ya.